Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're diving into something you might not expect. Metrology. But with a twist. We'll be focusing on Brazil. Now, you might be thinking, metrology, isn't that all about dry textbooks and complex equations?
Mhm.
But, trust me, this stuff affects you more than you realize. From the accuracy of your supermarket scales to the safety of those massive hydroelectric dams, metrology plays a vital role in our daily lives.
That's right. We're going deep into the world of precise measurement, exploring the tools, the challenges, and the fascinating role Brazil plays on the global stage.
I'm excited to have you here to help us unravel it all. So you say metrology impacts us every day. Can you give us a concrete example, something that really brings this home for our listeners?
Absolutely. Take the Amazon rainforest, for instance. Brazil is a major exporter of all sorts of products from that region, from acai berries to timber. Ensuring fair trade and sustainable practices relies heavily on accurate measurement.
I see. So it's not just about getting the numbers right. It's about ensuring fairness and responsible practices.
Exactly. Imagine trying to buy or sell anything without a reliable way to quantify it. It would be chaos.
That's a fantastic point. I never thought about it that way. So metrology isn't just about high-tech labs. It's essential for ensuring fairness and sustainability in everyday commerce. Okay, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's define what we're talking about. What exactly is metrology beyond just the science of measurement?
You're right. It's more than just measuring things with a ruler. Metrology is all about establishing a common language for measurement, ensuring accuracy and reliability, no matter where you are in the world.
A common language for measurement. I like that. That's a great way to put it. It reminds me of the Tower of Babel, where everyone was speaking different languages and couldn't understand each other. Metrology helps us avoid that kind of confusion in the world of measurement.
Exactly. Think of it as the foundation of trust in a world that relies on quantifiable data.
Now, I know there are different branches of metrology, right?
Exactly. You've got scientific metrology, which focuses on developing and refining those global measurement standards. Then there's industrial metrology, which ensures those standards are applied correctly in manufacturing and production.
Uh-huh. And finally, legal metrology, which is all about protecting consumers and ensuring fairness in trade, just like in that Amazon example we discussed earlier.
You're right.
It's interesting that you bring up the Amazon again. I'm curious, what are some of the unique metrology challenges Brazil faces, especially in a region as vast and diverse as the Amazon?
That's a great question. The Amazon presents some really unique challenges.
Like what? Give us an example.
Think about calibrating instruments in extreme heat and humidity, or ensuring the accuracy of measurements for products harvested from remote areas.
Yeah, that makes sense. Those are definitely not your typical lab conditions.
Brazil's metrologists have to be incredibly resourceful and innovative to overcome these hurdles.
Absolutely. It's not just about having the right tools. It's about adapting those tools to incredibly diverse environments and situations. Speaking of tools, our research mentions all sorts of fascinating gadgets used in metrology. What caught your eye?
Well, there's one tool that Brazilian researchers are really pushing the boundaries with: optical tweezers.
Optical tweezers, what are those?
These use lasers to manipulate microscopic objects.
Lasers. So they're like tiny, invisible hands.
You could say that. Imagine holding a single bacteria with light.
Wow, that's incredible. What are they using that for in Brazil?
Researchers are exploring all sorts of applications, from studying the behavior of cells to developing new drug delivery systems.
So from the incredibly small to potentially life-saving applications.
It's cutting-edge stuff.
That sounds like something straight out of Star Trek.
Mm.
All right, let's dive a little deeper into this world of tools. I know there's a whole vocabulary associated with metrologies, right?
You're absolutely right. There's a whole dictionary, the VIM, the International Vocabulary of Metrology, dedicated to defining these terms.
Okay, so it's like its own language.
In a way, yes. It ensures everyone's on the same page when it comes to measurement.
Makes sense. I'm sure my everyday use of the word monitoring, for example, is probably different from how a metrologist would use it.
You're absolutely right, and monitoring is a great example.
Okay, hit me with it. What's the metrology definition?
In metrology, monitoring means observing something for changes, while measuring means assigning a specific numerical value.
So I might monitor my coffee to see if it's cooling down, but I would measure its temperature to get an exact reading.
Exactly. It's all about being precise with language to ensure everyone's on the same page.
And what about measurement uncertainty? I feel like that's a concept people might find a bit counterintuitive. If we're talking about precise measurement, How can there be uncertainty?
It's a great point. Measurement uncertainty acknowledges that no measurement is perfect.
Oh, I see. So it's kind of like embracing the fact that there's always a margin of error.
Precisely. There are always influencing factors, even tiny variations in temperature, or the way an instrument is handled.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like acknowledging that even the most precise measurements are still an approximation of reality.
Exactly. It's about acknowledging the margin of error
Yeah.
and expressing the range within which the true value likely falls.
Now, while we're on the topic of nuance, let's talk about accuracy versus precision. I feel like those terms are often used interchangeably in everyday language.
Absolutely, and it's a common point of confusion. But in metrology, they have distinct meanings.
So fill us in. What's the difference?
Accuracy refers to how close a measurement is to the true value, like hitting the bullseye on a target.
Okay, hitting the bullseye, got it. So what about precision?
Precision is about how close repeated measurements are to each other.
Okay, so consistency.
Exactly. Imagine you're throwing darts. If you consistently hit the same spot on the board, even if it's not the bullseye, that demonstrates high precision.
Ah, I get it. Like if my scale always tells me I weigh 150 pounds,
Right.
even though I actually weigh 160, it's precise, but not accurate.
A perfect example. The scale is giving you consistent readings, so it's precise, but those readings aren't reflecting your true weight, so it lacks accuracy.
This is fascinating.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see how even seemingly simple concepts in metrology have a lot of depth and nuance,
Yeah.
and we've only just scratched the surface.
We have. And to really understand the breadth of metrology, we need to look at the tools themselves.
Yeah, let's do that. From simple handheld devices to sophisticated lab equipment, there's a whole arsenal out there.
Right.
You mentioned calipers earlier. Tell me, what role do those play in Brazil's industries?
Calipers are crucial, especially in Brazil's booming auto industry.
So they're used to measure those tiny parts.
They're used to measure the dimensions of parts with high precision, ensuring everything fits together perfectly.
I see. But beyond calipers, there are tools that almost seem like magic. Take the pull-off adhesion tester, for example.
Adhesion tester, that's a good one.
Tell me more. What is that?
It's used in the construction industry to measure the adhesion strength of paint and coatings on buildings.
Interesting. So it's like a stress test for paint.
Think of it as a stress test for paint, ensuring that it won't peel off easily and that structures are protected from the elements.
Wow, that's incredible. It's like detective work for paint. What other fascinating tools did you uncover in your research?
Well, one that really stood out to me is the magnetic particle testing equipment.
Magnetic particle testing. What's that all about?
This is like having X-ray vision for metal.
X-ray vision. Sounds powerful.
It uses magnetic fields to detect hidden cracks, voids, or other imperfections that could compromise the strength of a component.
I see. So this is what they use to make sure bridges and airplanes are safe.
Absolutely. And if we need to go even deeper, there's ultrasonic testing, which uses sound waves to detect internal flaws in materials.
Ultrasonic testing, huh? That sounds pretty high-tech.
It's commonly used to inspect welds, castings, and other critical components in industries like aerospace and energy.
So from paint to metal, metrology is all about uncovering the invisible, ensuring that everything from cars to skyscrapers is built to last.
You could say that. And it's not just about detecting flaws. Metrology also plays a crucial role in verifying the identity of materials.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more about that.
That's where a technique called positive material identification, or PMI, comes in.
PMI. That sounds intense.
It acts as a sort of material fingerprint analysis using spectroscopy to verify the chemical composition of a material.
Wow, so it's like having a detective on the molecular level.
Exactly. This is crucial for preventing counterfeit parts from entering the supply chain, ensuring safety and quality in industries ranging from pharmaceuticals to aerospace.
This is all so fascinating. It's amazing to see the breadth and depth of tools used in metrology and how they're being applied in Brazil to address unique challenges. But with all these tools and measurements, how do we ensure consistency and reliability? That's where standards come in, right?
You're absolutely right. Standards are the backbone of metrology, providing a framework for ensuring that measurements are accurate, comparable, and trustworthy, no matter where they're taken or who's taking them.
Okay, let's break this down. What exactly is a standard in the context of metrology, and why are they so important?
Think of a standard as a set of agreed-upon rules or specifications that define how something should be measured or produced. These standards ensure that a meter in Brazil is the same length as a meter in France, or that a kilogram of coffee beans weighs the same, no matter where it's measured.
So it's about creating a common language for measurement, a universal system that transcends borders and ensures consistency.
Precisely. And these standards are developed and maintained by international organizations, with Brazil actively participating in shaping these global guidelines.
Now, I know Brazil adopted the International System of Units, or SI, back in the 1960s. But are there other international standards that play a significant role in Brazilian metrology?
Absolutely. One prominent example is the ISO 9000 family of standards, which focuses on quality management systems.
ISO 9000, I've definitely heard of that.
These standards provide guidelines for establishing and maintaining a quality-focused organization, and they heavily emphasize measurement and monitoring processes.
So ISO 9000 is like a blueprint for building a quality-focused organization with metrology as a key component.
Exactly. It's a widely recognized and implemented standard that helps organizations improve efficiency, reduce costs, and enhance customer satisfaction.
And Brazil has embraced this.
And Brazil has been a leader in adopting and promoting these standards across various industries.
That's impressive. Are there standards specifically focused on the accuracy and reliability of measurement systems themselves?
There are. ISO 1012, for instance, outlines requirements for managing measurement processes and equipment.
So it's all about making sure the tools themselves are up to snuff.
It ensures that measurements are accurate, reliable, and traceable back to national or international standards.
So it's like a quality assurance system
Mm.
for the measurement systems themselves, a way to ensure that the tools used to measure are also being measured up.
You got it. It's all about maintaining the integrity and accuracy of the entire measurement process, from the instruments to the procedures.
That's like a system of checks and balances for metrology itself.
Precisely. And this attention to detail and emphasis on standardization is a big part of what makes Brazil's metrology system so robust and respected on the international stage.
This is all so fascinating. I'm starting to see how metrology is a truly global endeavor, with Brazil playing a vital role in shaping international standards and ensuring the accuracy and reliability of measurements worldwide.
It's been exciting exploring this with you.
And we're just getting started.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Before the break, we were talking about the global nature of metrology and Brazil's active role in shaping those international standards.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see how a field like metrology, which can seem, quite technical,
Yeah.
is actually deeply connected to global trade, cooperation, and trust.
Absolutely. And speaking of trust, let's shift our focus to conformity assessment.
Okay.
Remember, this is all about verifying that products, services, or systems meet specific standards and regulations.
Right. It's like a stamp of approval,
Mm-hmm.
reassuring consumers and businesses that things are up to par. But we touched on two key concepts within conformity assessment: certification and designation. I'll admit I'm still a bit fuzzy on the distinction between those two.
That's a good point. They can seem similar, but there's a key difference.
Okay.
Think of certification as a broader declaration of conformity.
Okay.
It's a process where an independent third party evaluates a product, service, or system against a specific standard and issues a certificate if it meets the requirements.
So it's like a neutral expert vouching for the quality or safety of something based on agreed upon standards.
Exactly. Certification provides that extra layer of assurance, whether you're buying a toy, a car, or even a service.
Okay, that makes sense. So where does designation come in?
Designation is usually granted by a regulatory body like a government agency.
Okay.
It authorizes a specific organization to carry out conformity assessments for a particular regulation or product category.
I see.
It's often required when public safety or health is a major concern.
So designation is more targeted and specific to certain regulations, often with a higher level of oversight. It's like saying, this organization is the official authority on ensuring compliance in this specific area.
Precisely. To illustrate the difference, let's imagine two scenarios.
Okay.
First, you're at the supermarket buying a bag of coffee.
Uh-huh.
You might see a label saying it's certified organic. That means an independent organization has verified that it meets the standards for organic farming.
Right.
That's certification. Now imagine you're involved in constructing a new bridge.
Okay.
The steel beams used in that bridge likely need to be designated by a regulatory authority, confirming they meet the stringent structural safety standards outlined in building codes.
Oh, wow.
That's designation in action.
Okay, yeah. That's a much higher level of scrutiny. It makes sense given the potential consequences if those materials fail.
Absolutely. And these examples highlight how both certification and designation play critical roles in ensuring quality, safety, and ultimately trust in various aspects of our lives.
Speaking of Brazil, are there specific organizations that handle these conformity assessment activities there?
Yes, in Metro, the National Metrology Institute we discussed earlier is a key player.
Uh-huh.
They accredit conformity assessment bodies, meaning they evaluate and approve organizations that want to provide certification services.
Okay.
And they also designate organizations for specific regulatory purposes.
So Inmetro acts as a sort of gatekeeper, ensuring that the organizations carrying out these assessments are competent and trustworthy.
Exactly. They play a crucial role in maintaining the integrity of Brazil's conformity assessment system. And it's not just in Metro. CONMETRO, the National Council for Metrology, Standardization, and Industrial Quality, also plays a crucial role.
Conmetro, what's their role in all of this?
CONMETRO is responsible for developing policies and guidelines for metrology and conformity assessment in Brazil.
Okay.
They set the overarching framework, while Inmetro helps implement and enforce those policies.
So it's a collaborative effort to ensure a robust and reliable system. Conmetro sets the stage, and Inmetro makes sure the actors are following the script, so to speak.
That's a great analogy, and this collaboration is essential for ensuring that Brazil's products and services meet the highest standards of quality and safety, both domestically and internationally.
This brings us back to the global nature of metrology.
Uh-huh.
We talked about international standards earlier. How do those standards impact conformity assessment in Brazil?
International standards are crucial for facilitating trade and ensuring that products and services meet the requirements of different markets.
Right.
For example, a Brazilian company exporting goods to Europe needs to comply with European standards, and conformity assessment backed by international standards provides the proof that they've met those requirements.
So it's like a universal language of quality, helping to build trust and streamline trade between nations.
Exactly, and Brazil's commitment to international standards strengthens its position in the global marketplace, ensuring that its products and services are recognized for their quality and reliability.
This is fascinating. It seems like every aspect of metrology we've discussed so far, from defining terms to ensuring conformity, all feeds into this larger goal of building trust and facilitating collaboration on a global scale.
You've hit the nail on the head, and this interconnectedness is what makes metrology so crucial in a world that's becoming increasingly interconnected itself.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the present state of metrology, but I'm curious about the future. What are some of the challenges and opportunities on the horizon, especially for a country like Brazil that's at the forefront of technological advancements?
That's a great question. As technology continues to evolve at a breathtaking pace, metrology needs to adapt to keep up. We're talking about measuring things at the nanoscale, in the vastness of space, and everything in between. The challenges are immense, but so are the opportunities.
I can imagine. So what are some of the specific challenges that stand out to you?
One major challenge is simply keeping pace with the sheer speed of technological advancement.
Right.
New materials, devices, and even entire industries are emerging, pushing the boundaries of what we can measure. Think about nanotechnology or the development of new biofuels.
Right.
These fields require new measurement techniques and standards, and Brazil is at the forefront of developing them.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Brazil is known for its innovation in areas like biofuels and renewable energy. It's only natural that metrology would play a key role in supporting these advancements. Are there other challenges we should be aware of?
Another challenge is ensuring the reliability and trustworthiness of new measurement technologies. As measurements become more automated and data-driven, we need to develop robust quality control systems and standards to validate results and guard against errors.
So it's not just about building new tools, it's about building trust in those tools and the data they produce.
Exactly. And this is especially important as we see the rise of artificial intelligence and machine learning in metrology.
Oh, interesting.
These technologies have the potential to revolutionize the field, but we need to make sure they're being used responsibly and ethically.
AI and metrology, that's a fascinating intersection. Tell me more about how those two fields are coming together.
Well, imagine AI algorithms that can analyze vast amounts of measurement data to detect patterns and anomalies, predict potential errors, and even optimize measurement processes in real time. This could drastically improve efficiency and accuracy in everything from manufacturing to scientific research.
That sounds incredible, but as you said, it's crucial to ensure that these systems are reliable. and that the data they're using is accurate and unbiased.
Absolutely. And that brings us to another challenge, the need for skilled metrologists who can understand and operate these increasingly complex technologies.
Right.
Education and training programs need to adapt to meet the evolving needs of the industry.
So it's not just about technological advancement, it's also about human development and ensuring we have a workforce equipped to handle the challenges of 21st century metrology.
Precisely. And this is where Brazil has a real opportunity to shine. By investing in education and fostering collaboration between academia, industry, and government, Brazil can position itself as a global leader in the future of metrology.
This is truly inspiring. I'm starting to see how metrology, a field that once seemed quite specialized, is actually at the heart of so many crucial aspects of our world, from trade and technology to sustainability and scientific advancement.
It's been a pleasure exploring these ideas with you.
And for our listeners, we hope you're as fascinated by metrology as we are. Stay tuned for the final part of our deep dive, where we'll continue to explore the future of metrology and its impact on Brazil and the world. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been exploring this fascinating world of metrology with a special focus on Brazil. And in this final part, we're peering into the future of this ever-evolving field.
That's right. As we discussed earlier, technology is advancing at an incredible pace, and metrology needs to keep up.
Absolutely. We talked about those challenges of measuring things at the nanoscale and in the vastness of space. But even in more established industries, there's a growing need for greater precision and new approaches.
Exactly. Think about advanced manufacturing. Components are becoming increasingly miniaturized and complex.
Right.
The tiny chips that power our smartphones or the intricate parts in medical devices,
Uh,
producing those with the required precision demands cutting-edge metrology.
yeah, it's like a race between technological advancement and our ability to measure it accurately.
That's a great way to put it. And this race is driving incredible innovation in metrology. We're seeing the development of entirely new measurement instruments and methods.
So what are some of those?
What are some of these cutting-edge advancements that have caught your eye?
Well, you mentioned optical tweezers earlier. Are there other cool new tools out there?
One area that's seeing remarkable progress is optical metrology,
Optical metrology.
which uses light to make measurements.
Like?
Techniques like interferometry and laser scanning are becoming increasingly precise and versatile, enabling us to measure things at the nanoscale and beyond.
Optical metrology, using light to measure.
Yeah.
That sounds almost like science fiction.
It does, doesn't it? But it's very real and incredibly powerful. And it's not just about precision.
Yeah.
Optical metrology also has the advantage of being non-contact, meaning you can measure delicate objects without damaging them.
Well, that's a huge advantage, especially when dealing with sensitive materials or components. What other trends in metrology are you seeing emerge?
Another exciting area is the integration of digital technologies into metrology. We're talking about machine learning, artificial intelligence, and big data analytics.
Hold on, AI in metrology. I'm having trouble picturing that. How does that actually work?
Well, imagine AI algorithms that can analyze vast amounts of measurement data to detect patterns and anomalies, predict potential errors, and even optimize measurement processes in real time.
Mhm.
This could drastically improve efficiency and accuracy in everything from manufacturing to scientific research.
So metrology is becoming smarter and more predictive. That's fascinating.
Exactly. And this trend is transforming the field, making measurements faster, more accurate, and more insightful than ever before.
This is incredible. But with all these advancements, are there any challenges or concerns that we need to kind of address?
Of course. One of the biggest challenges is ensuring the reliability and trustworthiness of these new technologies. As measurements become more automated and data-driven, it's crucial to have robust quality control systems in place to validate results and ensure accuracy. We can't just blindly trust the machines.
That makes sense. We need to be sure the data we're relying on is solid, especially as these systems become more complex.
Absolutely. Another challenge is the need for skilled metrologists who understand and can operate these sophisticated technologies. As metrology becomes more interdisciplinary, education and training need to keep pace. We need a workforce ready to tackle the complexities of 21st century metrology.
So technological advancement goes hand in hand with human development.
Precisely. And finally, there's the challenge of standardization.
Right.
As new technologies and measurement techniques emerge, it's critical to develop international standards that ensure consistency and compatibility across borders.
Makes sense.
This is where organizations like Inmetro in Brazil play a crucial role in collaborating on the global stage.
It sounds like metrology is facing some exciting challenges, but also has incredible potential to shape the future.
I couldn't agree more. And Brazil, with its commitment to innovation and its active role in the international metrology community, is well positioned to be a leader in this exciting future.
You know, it's been an incredible deep dive. I feel like I've gained a whole new appreciation for metrology, from its fundamental principles to its impact on technology, trade, and even our understanding of the universe.
It's been a pleasure exploring this fascinating field with you.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of metrology. We hope you've learned something new and that you'll continue to explore this dynamic and essential field. Because whether we're measuring the ingredients for a cake or the distance to a distant star, metrology is at work ensuring accuracy, consistency, and ultimately building trust in a world that relies on precise measurement.
Well said.
That's all for this episode of The Deep Dive. Until next time, keep exploring and keep measuring up.